What I Know for Sure by Oprah Winfrey. The famous American media personality Oprah Winfrey, who affected the lives of many people through TV screens or books pages. Despite all this success, many people don't recognize the extent of suffering and challenges that Oprah has faced since the day she was born. And perhaps even before that, in the story of her mother's suffering. People usually consider the birth of a new baby as a happy occasion, but this doesn't apply on Oprah's mother, who had hidden her pregnancy until the day of Oprah's birth in 1953. And this because she wasn't married and she felt a deep shame and regret. In her childhood and teenage years, Oprah faced years of loneliness and abuse. When the memory brings her back to the days of her early childhood, she only remembers her image as a lonely young girl who was raised by her grandfather and grandmother. Unfortunately, Oprah's suffering increased when she entered the teenage years, as she ended up pregnant, hiding her pregnancy exactly as her mother had done before. But this time, in a dramatically way, as the baby didn't live more than a few weeks after birth. Many may think that a childhood and an adulthood like this are enough to destroy the spirit of young Oprah. But despite the difficulties she faced in early time, Oprah believes today that this is what made her successful in the end. Oprah believes that the loneliness that bothered her when she was a little girl taught her the importance of self-sufficiency, and that no one would have cared for her, and that she had to defend herself. She also knew that happiness was something she couldn't count on others to get. So, she had to achieve this on her own. Oprah thinks that determination and an open mind will enable you to overcome your most difficult obstacles and turn them into your greatest strengths. Bit to remember: identifying your goal and mission from any work you do makes your efforts focused and your achievement clear. The first message that Oprah emphasizes is joy, as we must feel joyful about the endless opportunities that life provides us and to seek these opportunities. And we must appreciate the moment that we live and feel happy with every detail. Also, from the things that brings joy is a loyal friend. And as for reading books, they are worth expanding the mind and living in different experiences. And without flexibility, Oprah wouldn't have overcome the psychological stigma that she lived in her childhood. So, she advises to clean the mind and the heart from painful memories, to take care of ourselves and give it some love, and to have a responsibility towards our feelings, so we don't blame others and face problems as a part of our progress. Oprah emphasizes the fact that she lived with thousands of people whom she had interviewed over the years. This fact is the need for appreciation, and she titled this with Interdependence, because the human being is a part of this society and seeks to do anything to obtain respect and appreciation. The person in the quest of seeking appreciation and love from others may fall into the trap of unethical actions. And that's also a self-responsibility, because the person who couldn't appreciate himself, even if he was among his loved ones and friends, will never feel the respect, love, and appreciation. In one episode of her famous program, Oprah hosted a number of married men who were cheating on their wives with other women. After talking to them, Oprah realized that there was one common reason behind their cheating, which was that these men felt the feelings of love with their mistresses and not their wives. These husbands didn't realize that they were searching for love in the wrong place. As a teenager, Oprah used to believe that love and nice feelings come when she is in a relationship with someone. Despite her success in other fields in her life, Oprah felt that she was nothing if she didn't have a man that loves her. Until she realized after a while that we need to focus on ourselves as a source of love and self-esteem instead of relying on others. Bit to remember: you are responsible for your feelings that affect your reality, so be sure to live the moment with all its details, remove the painful memories from your mind, and appreciate yourself. That's when you will move forward and own your future. There's no person who lives his life perfectly, as every person experiences good and bad stations in his life's journey. So, we must thank God for all the good things that happen to us. And also the bad things, we shouldn't face them with frustration and resistance because they are a gift from God that we should accept and learn the lesson. As gratitude for all the little things brings feelings of love and peace. That's when you will have the opportunity that requires these positive feelings in order to see it, and requires ignoring internal concerns from one hand and negative personalities on the other hand. As focusing on these negative things may create a barrier that blocks a lot of opportunities and makes us move away from our goals. Some people may feel that these opportunities are coincidences, but they are not. Rather, they are miracles that have been achieved in response to prayers that were answered, in moments of amazement, feeling the cosmic force and the strength of intention. As when we need something, the whole universe cooperates to achieve this thing that we want. One of the things that Oprah found hard to be grateful for was her weight. For 20 years, Oprah had faced weight problems as she tried a large number of unhelpful diets. Oprah wasn't grateful for being healthy, but she was always focusing on having a perfect body. But after years of trying diets, something happened that changed Oprah's view to her body and her health in general. As while lying in her bed one night, she began to feel that her heart was beating fast. These palpitations lasted for 6 months, and her doctors were confused about the reason behind that. And after this scare, Oprah realized that she had always taken her health and well-being for granted. She had to be grateful for her heart, eat healthy food, and practice nutrition. But instead, she was busy thinking about the size of her dress and the way of her look. From that day on, Oprah had sworn that she will show gratitude to her body and her life and stop focusing on negative and trivial things. Bit to remember: by being thankful, we achieve peace in ourselves, which brings opportunities that we should seek in order to achieve our goals. Using the divine power that when we resort to it, it makes miracles come true. Any great achievement was a clear decision in the mind of his owner, so the person must be clear about his decisions and the goal of each decision. As our goal is not to please people, and you won't be selfish if you satisfied your goals and fulfilled your desires. Because then you will give yourself strength and you will be a proper person able to take care of others. We must also listen to our inner voice and instincts and to be consistent with it, as your intuition is your compass that brings you psychological balance. Oprah titled the last lesson with Strength, and here she indicates the strength of the word that we direct to others, as the strength may be a cure, consolation, and pleasing. And sometimes it's a way to create misery that often comes out of jealous personalities, who look at the successful people as people who are better than them and people that they couldn't keep up with them. So we must ignore these negative personalities. When Oprah started hosting her TV show, she was working hard and struggling in order to meet the high expectations of her followers, who regularly came to the studio and asked for help and advice. The studio was always filled with teenagers who ran away from their families and women who were victims of violence. Oprah was always trying to help everyone, but soon she became overwhelmed by the number of followers who asked her advice on a daily basis. Throughout that period, Oprah sought to please the largest number of people, fearing that people would take a negative view of her or not to be a beloved figure if she didn't provide services and advice to everyone who knocks on her door. This fear arose from her troubled childhood, as the abuse she endured at that time affected her ability to set boundaries between her personal life and her relationships with people. Due to violating her boundaries, Oprah allowed others to take advantage of her in order to be a beloved figure and to avoid people's anger at her. As soon as Oprah realized that fear always pushed her to say yes, she knew that she had to make some changes in her way of dealing with people. So she started saying yes to the things she really wanted, and she let her heart guide her in the decision-making process. Bit to remember: don't be indiscriminate in your giving. Every action is preceded by a clear decision and goal. Remember that the word has an influential force, whether from the positive or the negative side.
Thanks for watching. Please follow our social media accounts. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, comment below and share your thoughts on our book summary for this week.